everyone, I am Douglas E. Welch, and this is another container garden update for a gardener's notebook. For more information, you can always visit the website douglasewelch.com. There you'll find links to a gardener's notebook as well as everything else that I do. Well, today we're out. I've been looking at my YouTube channel. It's been just a little over a year since we started Container Garden Update. I think we were in week 3 on the YouTube channel right now. And it's time to retrofit things. We're here in the heat of the summer. Basically when I got started last year, honestly this time of year it's very hard to keep the containers adequately watered, and you'll see when I dump this pot out just how dry it is. I'm going to be retrofitting the pot area with some soaker hoses, and hopefully that'll help keep things a little moister in the coming year. Of course, in October and beyond we start to get our rainy season, and then we'll get some natural rain coming into the area as well. So all I've done is just spread out some plastic here in the driveway, mainly to be in the shade. It's a little warm here today, and we're just going to dump this one out. Now there is a basil plant kind of still in this. I'm actually going to try and save those. I think they're going to move into a different pot. We'll see how well they are. They're actually looking fairly green on top, a little bit of flowers and stuff like that. So I want to use this pot entirely for radishes and perhaps some carrots. And so I'm going to take everything out. We had some strawberries in here, and unfortunately these 2 strawberries have died, while the other ones are still going fairly strong. For whatever reason this pot didn't work out. So we're just going to dump this out first of all and see what we got. And you can see it's pretty dry on top here. Now you'll also notice, in the bottom of this pot I had some styrofoam because I didn't feel I could fill the entire pot with soil. It just seemed like too much for what the plants needed. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pot shards, which I had in the bottom of the pot originally, and get those back in here to start the retrofit. And let's see here. Now these pot shards, by the way, are just, of course, just pots that are broken here in the garden. Sometimes I also use ceramics from the kitchen. We had a big bowl that broke the other day, and that I see that ended up in here as well. Okay, so let's turn this on its side and just start to. Now down in here, it's not doing too bad actually. It's not totally dry underneath, and that's a good sign. Let's pull the styrofoam out. And you can see there's still quite a bit of soil in here, even with the styrofoam. It was just used to hold some other areas. Now, I'm very happy to see though that the roots from the plants that are in here had gone all the way down. You can actually see them here in the soil. So we're going to sort of break up the pot soil here. We're going to mix in, by the way, before we put it back, we're going to put some worm castings in. And actually, when we redo it too, you'll see I'm going to add a little bit of organic fertilizer. I think one of my faults with these two, as well as perhaps not getting enough water, is not getting enough nutrients either. Pots do leach out the nutrients from the plants that are in there fairly quickly, and you do have to do some fairly good fertilizing, and that's one of the things I think I fall down on a little bit. And here we are with our pot all back together. We've got the fertilizer in here. We've got the worm casting. You can put a little worm castings back on top here to make a nice bed. What we're going to do is we're going to divide this half and half. We're going to put carrots in one half and radishes in the other. Get 2 root crops in here. Carrots, of course, are so blasted tiny that they're very hard to sow equally here, but I'm certainly going to try. We're going to, oh, there we go. Actually see them good against the darkness of the worm castings. We can actually see them quite well, so that helps me at least know that I'm not spreading them too thickly. We had some carrots a long time ago, over a year ago. I tried some carrots in a container. I don't think the container was deep enough, and so they didn't do very well. I don't think it drained well enough, but this pot should be just about right for these. So basically I've made kind of a line right down the center here, carrots on the side, and these are some radishes. I've kind of rediscovered I liked radishes again. I'm a very fussy eater, as I've mentioned before, and so vegetables for me are kind of hard to find, but I do like the snap and the heat of the radishes, especially in salads and stuff like that. So we're going to plant a few of those, and honestly, radishes are great plants for beginners and children because they don't take long to grow at all. What's it say? Days to harvest, 25 days. So. And here's the pot back in place in its usual position, and we'll get this watered in very nicely. Now what I'm going to do also is I'm going, for the rest of the pots here, I am going to fertilize them. I'm going to maybe top dress them with some more worm castings. This lettuce pot is still throwing off flowers and seeds, so I think I'm going to let him do that. And then maybe I'll just add some lettuce seeds back here when the weather cools off a little bit to see if the lettuce will simply come back into the pot. That's my hope. And so here we are with our basil in their new containers here along the same fence where all the other containers are. Now in a month or so we're going to have to move these over to the other side again because the shadow from this fence will start to get too long because the sun will be sinking in the sky on that direction. So we're going to water all this in. We're going to do a bunch of watering. I want to thank you all for joining us for this episode of Container Garden Update. I hope it's been useful to you. If you're watching this on YouTube, please click that like button. It helps more than you think it might. Until next time, I'm Douglas E. Welch. You can find out more information at douglasewelch.com. And until next time, keep digging.